Assault rifles are the most popular weapon class in Call of Duty. I think they are. You guys agree, or do you think it's SMGs? Or maybe it's snipers? I don't know. I don't think it's ever going to change. They're typically easy to understand. They're versatile enough to fit any playstyle, and they lend themselves well to the core gameplay of a Call of Duty game, regardless of the setting. But what are the best of the best? It's kind of a tradition on this channel that before the release of a new Call of Duty game, we take that nostalgic trip throughout COD history, and we pick the best weapons of each class before a bunch of new guns get added to the mix. And today, it's all about the ARs. That's right. Just so we're clear, we're going to be talking about these guns as they are today, meaning pre-patch versions are not considered. You let me know in the comments which you think the absolute best COD assault rifle of all time is. Drop a like, and at number 1, or number 10 actually, the first on the list, the Honey Badger, COD Ghosts. Ghost was a low point for the Call of Duty franchise, unless you're one of those people who insist it was secretly amazing. Actually, it has aged over time better. Anyway, one of the best things to come out of the game was the Honey Badger. Still remembered today as one of the best assault rifles in COD history. Now, the time to kill wasn't the fastest, but it made up for it with its handling speeds, the reload animation, which was smooth, and the built-in suppressor that made it super versatile without needing any fancy attachments. Not only was it an excellent stealth weapon, it was kind of just an excellent stealth weapon all the way around. When you think about COD Ghost, you think about the Honey Badger. I think it's a perfect way to start today's list, and a perfect way to segue out of that into this is if you get anything G Fuel in the month of August, use code CHAOS, get up to 30% back, whatever it may be, all the new drops they're doing, shakers, tubs, all the specials, use code CHAOS. The link is at the top of the description. If you do, make sure you tweet at me so I can show you some love as well. At number 9, the Black Ops 2 SCARH. I think this is one of the most slept on guns in COD history. I've said it so many times. It was a beast, but it was unfortunately overshadowed by other guns in that game, like the M27, the AN94. There was a couple. But I'm going to say something controversial. I think it was better. In fact, I think it was one of the best guns in COD history. The Black Ops 2 SCAR was a high-power assault rifle with very low recoil for the amount of damage you were putting out with each bullet. Fired at 600 rounds per minute and had really, really clean iron sights. It would kill with 2 bullets as long as you would hit a headshot. Even at max range, you could kill with 3 shots if you aimed high. And that kind of versatility and killing power made it ridiculous. I don't really understand why a weapon this strong did not catch the attention or catch on with a lot of COD players back in the day. I think it was better than the M27. I think it was better than the AN94, both of which are more popular online. I'm not saying the SCAR was never used online, but it deserved more love than what it got. At number 8, the Modern Warfare 2019 M4. This game could have been a great turning point for the franchise, but instead it introduced a lot of things to the COD formula that the community has been begging to be removed. Disbanding lobbies, no red dots on the minimap, strict skill-based matchmaking. I could go on and on. The game is infamous. It is within the community, but there's one thing that deserves a spot of shine here, and it's the M4 assault rifle. This gun was busted on launch day, and even after a lot of patches, still arguably the best rifle in the game. Yes, some people prefer the AS Val for its raw time to kill, but the M4 still gets the spot for me because of the versatility. The sheer number of attachments available for this thing was insane, and the number of overpowered builds that are available, ridiculous. You could get the M4 for whatever, range, power, stealth, aggression, defense, basically anything you wanted, and it would be amazing in every role. This is the best M4 in COD history if you ask me, even after the nerfs. At number 7, the Black Ops 2 M8A1, the first ever 4-round burst in COD history, arguably the best. It was the MLG weapon of choice because of how hard it rewarded for being precise. If you were a casual player or your aim wasn't that great, you probably hated the M. But if you were willing to put the time in, get good, aim high, master the timing of your trigger pulls, this weapon could clean house every single time. Now up close, it only needed 3 of its 4 shots to connect in order to kill somebody. Even at longer ranges, you could one-burst people as long as you were aiming high and staying on target. It was the perfect example of a get-good gun. And if I didn't put it on the list, I would have had a million comments telling me it should have been there. At number 6, the Modern Warfare 2 2009 FAMAS. Talk about a slept-on, underrated gun. Now, it has developed a bit of a fan club over the last few years, which I appreciate. 3-round burst rifle, mostly a copy-paste of the COD 4 M16, but with the addition of new attachments and obviously a new weapon model. But those attachments made it a monster. It was easy to abuse its power. The FAMAS had barely any recoil, and if you were using stopping power, You could two-shot people up close and one-burst them from across the map, giving you some of the best killing power in the entire game. And this is a game where everything was OP. I love the Modern Warfare 2 FAMAS, and a few burst rifles that have ever came close to the amount of punch this thing carried, there's only a few. Now we crack into the top 5. The Vanguard STG-44. Sledgehammer has a bad habit of giving you the best guns in the game right out of the gate. COD Vanguard, case in point. Full auto rifle, great fire rate, super low recoil, ton of amazing attachments, and when the game came out, there was even certain builds that would basically insta-kill people. It was patched a few times, but it was always the most popular rifle in the game, even after its OP qualities were toned down a bit. You could argue that the STG belongs a bit lower on the list since it was patched a few times. I would argue that its insane dominance throughout the entirety of Vanguard's lifecycle should give it the number 5 spot. Now, granted, I tapped out of Vanguard pretty early, so I could be wrong, but you guys let me know. At number 4, I remember back in the day when this was number 1 all the time. Modern Warfare 2's ACR. Yeah, it's at number 4. Arguably the easiest assault rifle in COD history to use, and for that, it was popular. The fire rate was good, total laser beam, and if you were using stopping power, it was a melt machine from ridiculous distances. Some would argue it was the best assault rifle in the game. I would agree. The only reason it's at number 4 is because there's a handful of weapons that were even more insane and managed to dominate their respective games even more than this one did, if you can believe that. Get ready, because according to the leaks, we're getting it back this year. At number 3, the Modern Warfare 3 ACR 6.8. This gun is allegedly also coming back this year, and you've spent any time playing the original Modern Warfare 3, you know why I'm thinking this. It was a bit slower than the Modern Warfare 2 version, but it hit harder, much harder. It was still a laser beam, still clean iron sights. Up close, it could kill with 2 bullets. Even at max range, you could drop someone with a couple more shots. Just about every insane Moab gameplay back in that day was either the ACR 6.8 or the MP7. But since this video is about assault rifles and not SMGs, here it is. I know some of you are going to lose your minds that I ranked it above the original ACR, but I'm sticking with it. At number 2, the Black Ops 1 FAMAS. I'm not exaggerating when I say the Black Ops 1 FAMAS completely took over the meta of the game. If you weren't using it, you were behind the times. This thing shot at over 900 rounds per minute, had completely vertical recoil, so it was easy to adapt to, and it killed with 3 shots up close and 4 at max range. The time to kill was insane. No matter where you were on the map, it would totally outclass everything in the game. Not just assault rifles, everything. It wasn't just the best gun in Black Ops 1, it was Black Ops 1. You may have preferred the AUG, maybe you preferred the Commando, even the Galil, that's my baby. But if we're talking about raw stats, there was no beating the FAMAS. Easily a top 5 all-time COD assault rifle. But in number 1 today, I can't not. The COD 4 M16, the original OP assault rifle in COD history. 3-round burst, spits out bullets at 937 rounds per minute, only needed two to connect in order to drop someone. Plus, the recoil was gone. The simplicity of the class system in COD 4 meant there wasn't really anything else in the game that could compete with it if you knew what you were doing. You could argue, you could say the Modern Warfare 2 FAMAS was better since it was basically the M16, but with more attachments, but I would argue the simplicity of the COD 4's game design made this weapon shine even more than it normally would have, which made it even better in the context of the game, even if it wasn't quite as versatile or insane as it would become later. Now, there have been some overpowered burst rifles in COD history, but the COD 4 M16, it's where it all started. I still think it's the best. Let me know where you guys agree or disagree, and I'll see you soon.